Oh, hey everybody, it's TR, and just to let you know, I was this many days old when I found out I could use my Apple Watch to control the camera on my phone. Who'd have thought? What a world we live in. And as you can see, it's a new guitar day. Now, I have been watching Amazon and videos for the better part of the last year of these Leo Jaymz Monsoon guitars, and I keep thinking that would be the perfect guitar for me, but it's a Leo Jaymz, and I don't want to get into the whole Jace Allen, Ed Dana thing. They both have valid points, and I really like Jace's channel, and he does his research and he knows what he's doing, and Ed has been my buddy forever, and I will always stand by Ed. And except for my recent foray into Firefly guitars, which are lots of fun, I basically kind of like my brand name guitars too. So Steve from Boston had this as guitar of the day 10 months ago. I've been agonizing for the last 10 months over getting it. Why? Because I have an RG. It has a Floyd Rose. This is different. It's got a fixed bridge. Plays totally different because of it, and I'm not talking about the trem. The fixed bridge Floyd Rose is recessed. The strings sit lower to the body. These sit higher. It's a whole different feel. Okay, I justified it, right? It's beautiful. Look at it. Binding on the neck and body. Multi-ply binding on the body with the black on the outside and the inside portions of the binding, which just give it this look. And there's white pinstripe along the bottom edge. Just fabulous. Anyways, get back to this guitar. The Leo Jaymz, they look great, and they come in about $230, and the prices bounce up and down. I mean, I've seen them as much as $250, $260, but I've seen them as cheap as, like $190. This, when Steve from Boston showed it to me, was $379. Inflation gave it a hit to $399, and then the T word took it up to $429, which is what I paid. Should have got it last year, but I own an RG. I have a lot of guitars. So why this? Why not the Monsoon? Well, one of the reviews I watched on the Monsoon, this gentleman, I don't know his name for his channel, and sorry for that. Also sorry for what I'm about to say. His videos are boringly long. Listening to him, it's like watching paint dry. He goes over every inch of the guitar with his hand like this and goes so slow, like a sloth. But when he did the Leo Jaymz, at the end of the review, because I watched the whole thing, because I kept thinking, how are the tuners? How are the tuners? They have reverse headstock. It's a little harder to find backwards tuners, in case anybody's ever looked. He said, these have to be the worst tuners I have ever seen on a guitar in my life. Okay, we don't want that. Pickups also were flopping all over. Well, in the meantime, supposedly, according to the Bald Shredder, they've fixed the pickup flopping issue, and it seems there's got a locking tuner or something on them now, but it's still Leo Jaymz. What are the frets like? I mean, I'm not sure if they're up to the ball end, stainless steel or whatever, and I don't care for that either, because if I do have to work on them, stainless steel will kill my tools. That's my biggest thing against stainless steel. They'll kill my tools. So, tried and true Ibanez. Did own 3 Ibanez guitars. Now I own 4. I have an RG. I have a Gem Junior, which is basically an RG with a hole cut in it. Steve I guitar. And I have an S model. And what do they have in common? They have the Wizard neck. This tells me it's a Wizard 3 neck. I know exactly what it's going to feel like in my hand. Without a doubt, it's a Wizard 3. No question mark. Yeah, sure. Ball shredder can tell me what the neck feels like. Six-string stanger can tell me what the neck feels like. Anybody on YouTube can tell me what the neck feels like to them. But when I read Wizard 3, and when Steve from Boston, who is a guy he's a child of the 80s and loves his Ibanez guitars, and when he couldn't put this thing down, I was sold. So I went with the Ibanez. Look at that thing. Okay, so let's get into some QC. Nothing's perfect. Well, maybe not. I checked out the switch, which is a PC board switch, right? And it's going to be, because it's an Ibanez, and that's what you're going to get because of the complex switching. Position 1, full-on humbucker in series. Position 2, each inner coil, single mode in parallel. Position 3, both humbuckers parallel. Position 4, the neck pickup wired in parallel. Position 5, neck pickup in series. I'm going to show you a video of me testing the pickups, which I don't usually do for reasons. I don't really think it tells you a lot. As you're going to see, this bridge pickup is coming in at like 8 point some K, and I think it sounds hot. So I don't think it tells you a lot. And there's other measurements which I don't have the testing capability to do, like inductance and stuff, and that still really doesn't tell me a lot what pickup's going to sound like. But we'll cut away to that now, and I'll be back. Okay, this is something I don't usually do, but you know, my reviews aren't exactly super thorough anyways. It's the pickups, and this is DC resistance, and it kind of tells you, you know, like how much, well, exactly how much resistance is in the pickup and how it's wound. And it could give you a clue to how hot it is, but then again, you know, there's inductance and other measurements and things that are going to affect the sound. You know, materials that are made out of it are going to affect this DC resistance. So anyways, these are ceramic magnet pickups, which generally you'll see higher numbers on. And this pickup sounds hot to me, but as you see this number here on the bridge pickup, not so. One of the other factors is people will plug a guitar cord in and then hook the cables on the end of the guitar cord. Ideally, you should have the pickup like disconnected and just put it on the end of the wires, and certainly I'm not going to do that. But I am doing something similar here, if I may show you. I'm not using a guitar cord. That's my setup to hook up to my tester. No resistance from the cable. I do have resistance from the wires that are inside the guitar. So this is your bridge position. Next thing is with this guitar, it will be single coil inner of each of these in this position. So what's that telling you? Well, Steve from Boston did his review last year. He suspected they were in series. I'm here to tell you they're not in series. Look at that low number. That's parallel. Series will give you a bigger number. Series should give you a number similar to that, because that's these two coils in series. So that's parallel. The next position is these two as full humbucker, which you're going to see cuts the value in half, because that's Ohm's law. And that's the other reason this is stupid to do the middle positions. You should just do the resistance on each pickup, because if you do the middle position, it's Ohm's law. It's going to split the difference. It's just how it works on a parallel. Anyways, never mind. The stuff like that frustrates me. This next position is this wired in parallel. As you can see, you're getting a low number. The same low number that you had with those two single coils from each pickup when they were wired together, which tells me they definitely were not in series. They were in parallel. Do you enjoy my rants? There's a neck pickup, and you'll see it's a little bit less hot than the bridge pickup, which is very common, because that's what you want. Why? Because the strings have more travel when they vibrate on their ellipse up towards the neck pickup, so the strings are going to seem louder to the pickup than they will at the bridge. So to get balanced sound, generally you want your bridge pickup hotter than your neck pickup. And as we all know, to adjust this, you can adjust your pickup heights to get a balanced sound. And that's why I don't do this. But anyways, they sound good, even though they're ceramic, and I like them. and I'm not changing them, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to that. So I hope you enjoyed that little. Anyhow, the thing is, QC. Went to try that switch out. It was wobbling all over, and I thought, what the? These two screws just weren't tightened down. They were kind of started. Never tightened it at the factory. Every other screw, nut, and bolt in this guitar is as tight as can be, including these hex nuts, which are often loose. Okay, I'll give them that. I tightened that. What else was wrong? The frets needed to be polished in a bad way. That is not Ibanez's fault. That is the fault of the Pacific Ocean on the way over from Indonesia, I think. The strings were the worst strings I have felt in a long time. I got like probably 60 guitars, I'm embarrassed to say. And the oldest, crappiest set of strings in any guitar I own is nowhere near as bad as these were. And they were Diodarios, as advertised, 10s. I could tell by the colored ball ends. The underside of them just felt like crap. So a little polish, and these frets are perfect. They shine. They are no unlevel spots, no high spots, no low spots. I have super low action. It plays clean one end of the neck to the other, right down through all 24 frets. So there's that. Another thing that's not QC is I will show you the pots. They're the small size pots. But they work. They're super smooth. Give you a little listen here. Okay, might have seen I had a little teeny struggle with that one little part there. That's because this fingerboard radius is 400 millimeters, but that's kind of what I wanted. That translates to basically 16-inch radius, 15 point something. Can't remember, it's 15.6 and change, 15.8 and change. 16-inch radius. That's shred guitar, jumbo frets. Tuners work really, really well, and as I'm looking at them, I realize I've yet to remove the plastic off the back of them. We'll do that after. Pretty blue finish, pretty binding. The binding on the body is like a reverse. It's got the black on the outside. The neck's got the white binding around there. The headstock is matte, which looks really cool. I think it goes well with the matte pickups, which, by the way, these are Quantums. This is an F whatever, I can't remember what the name for the bridge is. It's basically like a hardtail Fender style bridge, and it works very well. So I'm in love with this thing, and I'm not going to change the pots even though they're small, because not only do they work well, but as I'll do a cutaway, I'll show you. They're branded. I looked up this company, and maybe not super common here, maybe a little more common over in Europe and Asia. And from what I could do the research on it is it's people that worked for Alpha that started their own company, and it's something fairly new. And as you could see from the picture on the cutaway, the metal in there and stuff is really, really shiny. Usually the crappy, cheap little dime-sized pots have that gray, rough, gritty, I'm corroded look to them. These don't look like that. And as I said, they work really well. I'm not going to replace them. I wouldn't think twice to replace a pot. I mean, they're $6-7 for, you know, get a CTS one. But these work so good, I don't care to. Same thing with the switch too. I mean, unless it breaks, it feels way better than most PC switches do. But that's because it's an Ibanez. And as I said, Ibanez is going to have one of these. It doesn't matter how expensive a guitar it is. That's what they use for their complex switching systems. It's like a super switch. So that's what I got to show you. Yeah, I went and bought another one, but this is great for me. It is, the body's called Morante, whatever that is. The neck is maple. The fingerboard is Jatoba, which is what Ibanez has been using, and I happen to like it as a rosewood substitute. It's got a dense grain feel to it. It almost feels like maple would feel. I know it seems counterintuitive because it's brown, right? But no, it feels like maple, and I like that. because this would look cool with a maple board too. So there's that. The nut is, you call it plastic. It might be. It might be graphite. I don't know. It's black. All I can tell you is black. It doesn't say what it is. If it's plastic, it works, and I don't care. How about that one? So that's my 2 cents. And that is why I don't have a Monsoon, and I have this. I paid roughly twice as much, but I think I'm going to be twice as happy in the long run. I'm super happy right now, and no offense, Leo Jaymz, but this was here first, okay?